Guten Tag, ich heiße Patrick Gargan, oder ich heiße Marcus Fischer. Today I'm going to do my final German 111 presentation on Media auf Deutschland, or Media of in Germany. So again, Media auf Deutschland. We'll jump right in. So to cover really quickly, intro, body, and conclusion. The speaker already covered. Ich heiße Marcus Fischer. And attention step, I'll get to in 1 second. But cover, I'll go over to the body of the presentation to cover a history of media in Germany, newspapers, and media auf Deutschland, of course. And then in conclusion, I have a question for the class. So we'll jump right in here. So Zeitung oder Versehen. Again, Zeitung oder Versehen. Does anyone know what Zeitung means? Maybe Versehen? Some of you had it. Zeitung is auf English is newspaper, or was bedeutet Zeitung auf Deutsch is Zeitung. Was bedeutet Zeitung auf English is newspaper. And same, was bedeutet Versehen for auf English is television. So two forms of media that I covered in my research were newspaper and television. You'll see that those are two major players in Germany, and I've did some research and got some numbers as well for us. But we'll jump in first before we get to more. Let's talk about was ist Nummer eins auf Deutschland? Zeitung oder Versehen? So again, was ist die Nummer eins auf Deutschland? Zeitung or Versehen? So see if you can figure that out by the end of this presentation. So to jump right in, the body or the history, I'll give you a brief history as we go through. Auf die LinkedIn Seite 45 is, you'll see up in the black and white, or at the end of the Nazi rule in 1945, Germany initially had many national newspapers or newspapers of the Reich. Now they appear under the Allied license. Many in the U.S. zone gave out the first license. It was awarded on 1 August 1945. And it was awarded to Frankfurter Rundschau. Auf die rechten Seite 50, you'll see the an example of a recording company, which is an example of one of the 6 broadcasting houses that came together. They joined forces to create what was called the Arbeitsgemeinschaft der Öffentlichen, otherwise known as the ARD broadcaster. And this was in an effort to unify efforts to get information across to Deutschland. And then you look at the auf der LinkedIn site, or on Seite 84. This was when you first started seeing what's it called? Programmgesellschaft für Kabel, or satellite und Funk. So what does that mean? Yes, started by broadcasting. So they're looking at a computer or they're online. That is an example of in 1984, the first birth of private TV channels in Germany, 1984. Majority of the TV channels in Germany are associated with the Länder, or the states. So each state controls their TV stations, and they provide a majority of the licenses for the private companies if there's private entities that want to start their own television station. You'll see in off the rechten side, you'll see that about is using the internet or online, about 4.1 in 1997, or 7 auf 90, 4.1 million citizens over the age of 14 had online access. Not very many. When you compare, the population now is 83, so 83 million. In 2014, statistics showed that 55 or 55 million, or about oxen, 80% of the German population had connection to the internet. The question is, and you'll see in the center under the Internet, Außen, 18, some of 21 million people in Germany use Facebook on a weekly basis. So quite a jump from 97, when only 4 million had access to the internet. So we'll move on. So you'll see it's either television or internet, or Fernsehen, oder online growth. So you have online growth, where you'll see an example I pulled was Facebook. Everyone's heard of Facebook. Facebook in Germany is in a upward trend, so it's still growing. Where in the US it's kind of flattened out. But in Germany, you'll see a total of 41% in 2016, of 40% of people, 41%, or 41, number of people used Facebook. Majority of the folks there being 14 to 29 years old. So Lesson C online oder Lesson C Zeitung? Where do you get your news? Do you Lesson C online oder Lesson C Zeitung? And you remember from the beginning when I asked about if it was Zeitung oder Fersen, if you get it for newspaper or online. So my question to you is, do you get it Lesson C online or Lesson C Zeitung? So show of hands, we'll see what we have there. Danke, choose German 111, and lastly, in meiner Meinung nach, majority of people Lesson C online, or majority of the people read online. Danke, choose.